The shoulder joint of a human is a truly remarkable structure. Whereas most other animals experience quite limited shoulder mobility, humans have a range of motion that creates a nearly 360-degree sphere of potential movement all the way around the joint. It has allowed us to do things that set us apart from the other creatures of the planet, like effectively using tools or throwing weapons. However, there is a weakness to the design. There is very little bony connection within the joint. Unlike the hip joint, with its deep hip sockets designed for stability and strength, the shoulder joint is almost completely attached by muscle and connective tissue, meaning the shoulder joint must earn its stability, strength, and mobility almost completely through a variety of movements and the resulting muscular adaptations. And because the shoulders are naturally such incredibly mobile joints, they need to experience a wide variety of movement patterns on a consistent basis to stay healthy. The movement diet of most shoulders today would mostly consist of some basic movements in the front of the body, and if the individual is a gym goer, then you would see some linear overhead movements a few times a week. But it's extremely difficult to maintain healthy shoulders with such a limited movement selection, which is why shoulder pain and injury rates are so high. In my experience, one of the absolute best and probably the least utilized tool to solve this problem is Indian clubs. Also called light clubs, Indian clubs are small clubs that look like a bowling pin, usually weighing between 1 and 3 pounds. They've been used along with their larger counterparts, heavy clubs and maces, for centuries in India and Persia to train wrestlers, and in ancient Russia as a favorite implement of war, with a few alterations of course. Eventually, club swinging was brought to Europe and America in the 1800s, becoming a very popular tool for functional exercise and shoulder health for over 100 years, before fading away in favor of new styles of exercise. However, in the past 20 years or so, club swinging has seen a steady resurgence in popularity for a number of reasons. Indian clubs differ from other shoulder exercises in that they utilize wide swinging arcs and shoulder rotation to create highly three-dimensional movement patterns. These three-dimensional movement patterns mimic the functional patterns of throwing, tool wielding, and weapons handling that has played such a pivotal role in human development. Meaning light club exercises readapt the shoulders to natural and functional movement patterns while you exercise with them. The wide range of movements used in Indian clubs also teach the various muscles of the shoulder joint how to work together to achieve a common goal. This is an area of muscle control which is sorely lacking in most trained individuals, and is an area where most people can experience massive amounts of improvement in both skill and function. Indian clubs also utilize momentum during the swing to help guide the shoulders through the most efficient path of motion, promoting smooth and graceful movement patterns. This makes Indian clubs a great way to warm up and mobilize all the muscles of the shoulders without causing undue stress and friction on the joint. The swinging nature of clubs also creates joint traction throughout the movement, lightly stretching the shoulder the entire time you're using the clubs. This gentle stretching and flowing motion also helps circulate the synovial fluids around all the articulating surfaces of the joint, which lubricates the joint and nourishes the cartilage and adjacent ligaments. And finally, club training can completely remodel and strengthen the fascial slings of the shoulders and arms. It does this by pre-tensioning the fascia and utilizing its natural ability for elastic recoil, thereby stimulating the production of new collagen fibers along the path of tension. An effect I personally credit with giving me the ability to throw a ball again after years of inability due to a rotator cuff tear. Before this, I had done every other rehab I could find, and though I regained much shoulder function, the ability to throw still eluded me until club swinging gave it back, something I will forever be grateful for. If you already have a severe lack of shoulder mobility for any reason, it may be best to work on opening up the shoulders with less complicated movements first before moving on to Indian clubs. Some great options for this are doorway stretches to open up the pec, pec minor, bicep, and front deltoids, or shoulder dislocates to accomplish the same. With dislocates, simply start with a towel or exercise band before moving on to a bar or PVC pipe. Start with the arms wide and slowly move them inward as you gain more mobility. When you're ready for light clubs, start with a 1-pound pair if you have them. Otherwise, a 2-pound pair will be just fine. You'll want to start with slow, graceful, and smooth motions. Once the motion makes sense to your brain and it's starting to become well coordinated, you can increase speed. As the speed increases, the forces generated will become greater and the clubs will begin to feel heavier. There are many maneuvers you can perform with light clubs, but in this video we will go over the inside and outside mills, as I feel they are probably the best rehab and mobility option for the greatest percentage of people. You start by standing with feet shoulder width apart, though with light clubs you have the option of standing with the heels of the feet together, known as the formal position, which surprisingly really helps you focus more on your shoulders, as it takes the wide base of support and the desire to generate power from that support away from you. Be sure to stand tall and straight and keep the shoulders drawn down throughout the motion. The basic grip for light club training is to wrap your fingers around the handle with the ring finger sitting on the top of the knob at the bottom of the club, and the pinky finger wrapped around the knob. You want to grip hard enough to not let go of the club, but also not so hard that you burn out the forearms. Once you find this grip, you can try out two basic wrist positions. The hammer position, where the club is pointed up like you're holding a hammer, then the saber position, where the wrist bends down to create a straight line from the forearm to the tip of the club, much like you would with a bladed weapon. The cast is a very flowy movement, but I suggest starting by finding the three primary positions first, then learning to move smoothly between them until it all becomes one motion. The first position is the front rack, with elbow bent, wrist in the hammer position, and the shoulder drawn down and back. From here you will extend the elbow as you swing the club to the side position. This motion is called a side cast. Your wrist will be in the saber position by the time you get to the end of the side cast. Next, you will begin to bend the elbow and draw the arm towards the head. Allow the club to go behind the head as if you were trying to scratch your back with it. You will draw the shoulder blade down as you enter into this position, and your wrist will be in the hammer position. Next, you internally rotate the arm as you bring the club around the head and back into the front rack position. As you learn the positions and begin to try to flow them together, allow the momentum that's created to naturally guide your form. You want to work together with the momentum to create the most efficient path possible. The outside cast is the same motion in reverse. Start again with the front rack position, only this time you will externally rotate the arm as you bring the club around the head to the back position before casting the club out to the side position. You'll notice this cast feels very much like throwing a ball, with the initial motion from the front rack to the back position feeling much like cocking the arm back before the throw. Once in the side position, you will begin to bend the elbow and draw the club back inward toward the body and into the front rack position. If you become proficient with these movements and enjoy the light clubs, you can also consider trying heavy clubs and maces, which are similar but more focused towards functional strength and power while still utilizing high levels of flow and mobility. Though I would not try these unless you've spent a good deal of time with light clubs first. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified of future videos. Best of luck in your club training journey, and until next time, keep moving, my friends.